This is my first time going on a hike in a park in Colorado. First time ever in Colorado too. Now it's been a few days since I first arrived here and
Hi, I'm Will. I spent my 20s living in a boring area with not much to do, and so I decided to pack up and travel the world through Airbnbs while working a remote job. I was willing to do whatever it took to live a more fulfilling and enriching life. Join me on my adventure, turmoils, trials, and tribulations.
most of that's been doing errands, oil changes. I did get invited out to the city to watch the Nuggets play the Heats for the NBA final game, but it's mostly city life, which wasn't what I was expecting Colorado would be at all. I guess I've expected more nature, snow, skiing, hiking, boulders, but not necessarily the case. It's actually, so far, a lot of suburbs and shopping centers that look kind of like a more populated, bigger Maryland or North Carolina. So I was starting to miss some nature and I came out to here. This is a state park and it's about 25 minutes out from the city, which I was just willing to do since it's about time. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit some trails here. There's a beautiful lake here, which I think that's one benefit of Colorado or Denver. This type of lake here, that would be a big, I wouldn't say attraction, but it would be a big draw in Austin. I felt like Austin, while it did have some lakes and stuff, they weren't as frequent or abundant as this or as large. So I'll check it out. Let's see, let's go. This is Cherry Creek State Park, and there are a decent amount of gnats and flies, maybe even mosquitoes coming around here. So thankfully I'm wearing long sleeve pants and shirts. It's not too bad though. I don't think they're too irritating just yet. Other than that, beautiful landscapes. First impressions, pretty serene. Not many people. Although there are people walking around here, you can see them within eye distance. You still get a certain level of distance to yourself to just explore. So the trail that I chose is from an app called AllTrails. This is apparently a very popular hiking app that I didn't know about. I guess only unless you start to get serious about hiking do you start hearing about it. So I started hearing about it, I think through social media or something, or maybe in person. But I guess as you start heading more towards the west side of the country where there's a lot more hikes, an app like this becomes more prevalent. So this park actually has multiple trails that rank very well on AllTrails based off the other average ratings. AllTrails, and this isn't sponsored, but AllTrails has a lot of functionality. It tells you how to drive to the location, and then once you start to hike, it'll give you a real-time route, kind of like Google Maps, to make sure you're going the right way, time the hike, measure your distance. So nothing crazy, but incredibly useful to have a crowdsourced platform to find the best hikes. I found that before AllTrails, I was relying on maybe Google Maps, searching articles online, searching YouTube videos online, searching social media like Instagram or TikTok to find where to visit, where to go hike, where to take photos when I'm in a new location. But this definitely opens things up. When I was in New Mexico, I found some really beautiful hikes, which I probably wouldn't have if it wasn't for AllTrails. So check it out. Currently, this is a paved path, paved as in man-made with gravel. And I'm just following it along here, and I get this beautiful view of a lake. This actually reminds me a lot of the size of a lake that I walked with the hiking group in Austin. The difference being that lake, while it's being the same size, had a lot less gnats and mosquitoes flying around, but also it had a lot more people. I just had the sense that like Austin is just so overpopulated with tech professionals that they all just swarm to that one lake. Whereas here in Denver, it's not a ghost town, which I also don't know if I would like. If it's too isolated, some people like that, but I don't know about me. It's definitely not overpopulated. Like, there's a chance I may not bump into more than 2 people as I walk to this trail. It's about a 2-mile hike, nothing crazy. And yeah, I'm just gonna appreciate it. I may move into a run. Yeah, the hike itself, pretty basic, straight down. But that's Denver for you. Now, one difference over there, you can see the mountain range. That's something I've only seen in a couple cities in my travels so far, where a visible mountain range is within view of wherever you're going. And to see that right next to the lake is something special. I'm almost at the end of this trail. Before I turn back, it's basically a straight shot down this gravel trail for about 2 miles and then back. And I guess the best part is the mountain range and the lack of people. I probably passed one individual with his dog while on this trail. So it's definitely one of the less populated hikes I've ever been on. Like if you were to go to Nashville, which I have on hikes, there's people. You know, you go to a park, there's tons of people running around, smushed together. So depending on what you want, maybe Denver's better for you in this regard. Now, another thing is, you may be wondering, what about the best hikes in Denver? Are you gonna go to those? Eventually, yeah, I do wanna hit up at least one of those. Based off the influencers on Instagram, those hikes, when I looked it up, are like 30 minutes outside of the city, at least. They're not really Denver hikes as much as they are hikes within the drive of Denver. So it's more of an excursion. Now with me, with limited free time, like I still have my full-time job, that's something I may consider for a day where I'm really feeling the energy or have the free time. But yeah, looks like the end of this hike is here. We're at this parking lot, which is once again more expansive and larger than, you know, a typical parking lot you would see in North Carolina, Maryland, even Virginia. All right, I'm down by the water. It's awesome, but not as glamorous as you think. There's clouds of gnats hanging around. Some of them are following me along. It's almost more of a beach than a lake because there's sand by the water, which I usually don't see when it's a lake. And it's pretty expansive. I mean, check out that view. One edge of this lake leads up to a highway. So is it the best lake in the world? No. Is this the best vlog in the world? No. But it is a honest, relatable vlog, hopefully, of a average person taking on a semi-above average adventure. It's my first week ever in Colorado. I mean, it's still surreal to be here. I wouldn't write home about this lake, but I wouldn't discount it as nothing either. I mean, in my hometown, I had lakes like this without that incredible mountain range view, the clouds above, highway there, water flowing in, and then this whole area of the park to myself. And it's not like I'm even like in danger either because I'm too isolated. Like, just like 100 feet that way, there's a bunch of cars parked in near pagodas and a couple families having a picnic. So that's it. I'm probably gonna walk back now and just appreciate it, be present, enjoy that walk back. I want to end with a quote from Marcus Aurelius from his book Meditations. and I think it's really relevant here today. So the quote goes something along the lines of, wherever you may go, you can make a good life. And I think that's really important for me because, you know, as I set out on this journey, part of me expected paradises or constant paradises. Maybe, you know, because I had no real information about Colorado or these other areas. And so I was expecting a beach or the ski resort destination or these amazing views. And don't get me wrong, they are amazing views, but when there's adventure and you face reality, you sometimes find reality, which isn't always as glamorous as you might expect, but may also come with some pleasant or not so pleasant surprises that are just so fascinating and interesting. For example, I never knew that there would be this wide lake with this weird highway there, and then the mountains in the distance, and then the clouds, and then you could see some buildings. I didn't expect Denver to be like that. I just expected like, I don't know, like a bunch of bouldering and canyon hikes and then snow right next door. But those things are, I would say, like, there is snow, but usually only in the winters, as I come to discover, and that usually requires like a 2 to 3 hour drive west of here into the mountains into Aspen or Vail. Now I know. At the time, I never needed to know. So that's it. Gonna enjoy. Gonna spend a little bit longer here, just taking some film for the B-roll, and I'll see you in the next video.